was pregnant, and that is when I would say that things started to get very, very difficult. Found out I was pregnant. He was like, well, let's wait till we go to the doctors. Of course you'd want to do that, but you know, especially as a woman, you kind of know. I took the pregnancy test. It said I was pregnant. Like, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When you use the pregnancy test to wait 2 to 3 minutes or however long for your results. Mine did not say that. Mine, soon as, boom, bam, pregnant. So I was like, okay, if it's gonna make him feel better, we'll go ahead to the doctors, because that's what we were gonna do anyway. I weighed out all my options. I know there's some people who agree with abortion, some people who don't, but you know, at the end of the day, it is your body and it's your decision. He made me feel at that time, you know, if I am pregnant, we will do what we have to do. We will take care of the baby. Everything will be okay. So I go to the doctors again, boom, pregnant. He still didn't want to necessarily believe it. I think for him, it wasn't going to be until the ultrasound. I don't remember if we went that day or the next day, but it was very fast. We went over and did the ultrasound, and you saw, you know, the baby in my belly. From then on, I was like, okay, so now we know I'm pregnant. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna talk to our families? What are we gonna say? How is this gonna work? I wanted him to be there for me because, again, at that time, I can honestly say me and my mom were going through a little, I don't want to say a rough patch, but I just did not know how my mother would react. I wanted him to be there with me for support. I thought that that would make things a little bit better, and it would just ultimately make me feel better. And I knew that he had a child from a previous relationship, so on his side of the family, it would be considered very difficult for him. So I told him I'd be there. I'll be there. You know, if you want to talk to your mom, we can go ahead and do this together. So we had it set. When I was going to talk to my mom, we discussed that we would talk to my mom first. Every time I wanted to try to talk to my mom with him there, like either he come after work or what have you, it was always a reason on why he couldn't come. He couldn't come. Again, I could say that was a red flag, but you know, this was the person that I was supposed to be spending the rest of my life with, and we were going to do this together. So it hurt me, but you know, I still wanted to be positive. So, long story short, he was not there to tell my mom. I ended up telling my mom on my own. She ended up being very understanding. It was a good reaction compared to what I thought it was going to be. So I got that done, and I was like, okay, so I told my mom. He was like, well, what did she say? So I told him what she said, and I was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and talk to your mom about it. When will be a good time for you to talk to your mom, and I can be there. I want to be there. You know, I know it could be very, very hard for you, so let me be there to be your support, right? Fast forward, so I think I want to say about a week and a half goes by, and he still didn't tell his mom. I'm like, when are you gonna tell your mom? I told you I'm here for you. You know, time is going on. I would like for her to know. That didn't happen. I ended up calling his mother myself and telling her myself. At this point, she wanted to have a meeting, have a sit down between him, me, and my mom. It was a long talk. We went out for dinner. There was a discussion of him and I getting married, and I didn't want to get married just because of a baby, and he didn't want to do the same. So we had that conversation, And we were like, no, we're not just gonna get married just because of a baby. And I didn't want to get married just because of a baby. I just personally felt that I wanted that person, whoever it would be, to marry me because of me, not because they feel like, she has a baby, let me do the right thing and marry her. So that was another red flag again, because I had to be the one to tell his mom he wasn't going. I honestly to this day don't know when he was going to tell his mom. No clue. Fast forward, it got to the point where I was like, okay, well, let me back up. One thing that he did do, he wanted to get a better job. He knew, okay, I have 2 kids, one already, another one on the way. I need to be responsible, get a better job. Okay, understandable. So he gets another job, but this specific job had a very, very strict probationary period. So he kind of had to be at work all the time, couldn't really call out. If he called out, or even if, from my understanding, if he came into work late, that wasn't going to be good, and he could really be putting himself in jeopardy from getting fired. And of course we didn't want that. So I was very understanding of that. And I can say, I can count on one hand the amount of times he's been to any of my doctor's appointments, which again, I was being very understanding of that. I knew him having a job to take care of our family was more important. So I had bit that bullet. But during the process, I definitely wanted his daughter to be involved. I knew this was going to be an adjustment for her. She was technically an only child. It was all, just her for her first 4 or 5 years of life. So I did not want to not include her in any way, shape, or form. Especially because, like I said, our discussion, we were going to spend the rest of our lives together. We were going to get married. So I'm not going to just wait. I'm going to keep her included as soon as possible. Well, he has his child's mother from the previous relationship. She could be very difficult at some times. So because that's what I was informed of how she could be, and I've witnessed on myself on how, that could be possible, he did not want to tell her. I really don't care what her thoughts are. What's most important is for, your child, so she can also be included. I asked him, I said, have you told her that she was going to be a big sister? And he said, yeah, I told her. And I said, well, what did she say? He was like, she didn't say anything. And I'm like, really? You sure she didn't say anything? He just said, no. She just looked and didn't say anything. That was a little strange to me. So fast forward, I'm like 7.5, 8 months pregnant. I was at a family function of his, and all the kids were there. And, I wasn't thinking. The kids would always ask me, oh, how's the baby? I mean, it was clear I had a belly. I ended up saying, yeah, this is so-and-so's little brother. And they were like, what? Did you hear that? You're gonna be a big sister. And she was like, I'm gonna be a big sister? Like, she had no clue. And that's when I realized I know exactly what happened. If he truly did say something to his daughter, he said, Ericka's gonna have a baby. She was only, I don't even think she was 5 yet. I think she was only 4, but she was going on 5. For a kid that age, it's definitely going to be hard for them to register, that someone's having a kid, as opposed to, no, you're going to be a big sister. So, mind you, that's how she realized it and how she found out. I'm 7.5 months pregnant at this point. It's like, the baby about to come soon. And because of that, she ends up going back to her mother. and telling her, and that's how she found out his first child's mother. So even with that, with her, it was a shock. It wasn't until later on when I think she realized that, oh, not only is she pregnant. I know, you guys, this is the end of part 2, but if you give this video 20 likes, I will post the third and final part of how I became a single mom. Thank you so much for all the love that I've received in part 1. I didn't expect it, and don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.